My name is Hannah. I'm from America. I'm from Illinois, and now I'm here in Shanghai.
My name is Evelyn. We are here in Shanghai, and I'm from the States. We are ethnically Chinese, and I felt like something important to learn to be bilingual. Our family, they didn't really speak it when we were younger, so we just never learned. So we thought we would take this time to come and learn something important to our culture.
I would agree with a lot of that. I think we have pretty similar reasonings. Like being here is also helping us get in touch with our cultural background, and if it could help professionally, I think that would be amazing. But it is mostly a personal thing. I really want to be able to, if I have children, pass it on to my children, and in my career, maybe it'll help, maybe it won't, but still just a good goal for me. I think I've been to China before, and I've been to Beijing before, and so that was kind of Beijing and Shanghai are kind of the two top cities, and since I've been to Beijing before, I think I want to try something new, and I don't know, Shanghai just seems like a really cool place, and it is.
Yeah, I would also agree. So we've been to Beijing and Hong Kong before, so this was just a new city to explore. Shanghai is full of so many things to do, and we've been really enjoying our time here.
Just if you just search online studying Chinese in China, LTL is one of the first that pops up, and there is something to that first impression of going onto a website and everything is laid out I liked how LTL is accredited, and that it said there's so much diversity here, which is true. Evelyn and I are one of 3 Americans here, and I think it's really cool to be able to talk with people from other countries and other backgrounds. So that was part of it, and also I was speaking with Alex, and the way he responded, he was we would send him an email, and the next day it would be an email, or even I think maybe even a few hours later he would respond. And he also initiated with us and was let's have a Skype call and talk about it. And so those were some of the things that impressed me. And even coming here, I love the teachers here. I think the teachers here are amazing. So
I would agree with most of what you said as well. I'm gonna be totally honest, I let Hannah do a lot of the research before coming here. I was actually working a job before I came to Shanghai, and 9 to 5 grind. So Hannah did a lot of the research, and I kind of trusted her judgment, but again, with Alex was really responsive, super initiative, and he was really helpful. I think we talked to him for months before actually deciding to come, and he was really good about responding and encouraging us and reaffirming our desires about what we wanted in a school.
Yeah, and also it was really flexible too, because we were originally not sure where to go, and then he was saying you can pick what city you want to go to, and so eventually we're here in Shanghai, and after this we're going to Chengde. And I think that was also nice that there's flexibility in how you can plan your schedule and plan how you want your classes to go.
Well, I had Jason and Fiona for the first 4 months. Now I'm just one-on-one with Jason. I think the teachers here are great. They really care about their students and want them to progress. Especially Fiona would play these games with us that were really interactive and fun, and also helped us learn at the same time. And I knew she was preparing a lot before lessons, and I really appreciated that. And I also really appreciate Jason in the way that he's so understanding about my level, and he's been working with me since I came here, and he understands how much I can understand and how much I can't, and he is very flexible in teaching and knowing what I want to learn. If I want to practice speaking, he'll do that with me, or study the book more, etc. And they're all really great, and I think most of the students you would talk to here would say their teachers are really awesome. LTL's best quality, I think, is their teachers.
I agree about the teachers, and I was also in group classes since September, so also for 4 months, and then I was with Jason and Chin Chin, and then recently I just switched to one-on-one with Chin Chin. But like in my group classes, there wasn't always a student at my level, so I've been kind of having one-on-one in my group classes. And I really enjoy being with the teachers, and especially when you're one-on-one. Like, I think group class is a great starting place, but then once you move to one-on-one, you're able to be more flexible with your teacher and focus on what you want to work on. And it's also really great. You just form a really great relationship with your teachers. And like, I feel like I could go to Jason or Chin Chin for anything. Like, if I need help with something, they're always like super willing to help me. Like when we were looking for an apartment, like, you know, Chin Chin recommended an app for me, and like it's those kinds of things. Like, I feel like I can really depend on them, not just for teaching, but like I feel like they're our friends. Before I came here, I studied Chinese in college for 2 years, so 4 semesters. And like even after 2 years, I probably could have like a very basic conversation, but like nothing really crazy. And also, I don't think that my listening was very strong or that my grammar was very strong. But I've been in China for 4 months, and I definitely feel like I progressed really quickly. Like the 2 years that I studied in college, I probably have learned more in like the 4 months that I've been here in Shanghai. And I definitely, like, all my classes are like, I just only speak Chinese basically. And I don't, like, I used to be, like, when I first got here, I'd be, like, a little bit stressed out about, like, ordering food or, like, asking people things, like, you know, for directions or whatever, and now I just feel a lot more confident in that. So I think that's great. I feel like I've progressed really fast.
I did not study it at all before coming here, so I did a little bit of self-study on Duolingo and Rosetta Stone, but it was very, very minor stuff. Like, I was kind of just doing it in my spare time. I only knew like a few words, my pronunciation was terrible, etc. So coming here is basically ground zero. But since being here, like, of course, you're living in China, you have to use the language. I think, like, I'm now around, like, HSK3, maybe a little below, but, like, if I studied, I think I could probably pass HSK3. So I think, like, just, like, being in China really, like, you just, like, if I was trying to do this in the States, it would be so much harder, but I've progressed so much in the past 4 months that I've been here, and it's really hard. Like, not gonna lie, this is a really difficult language, and sometimes it can be frustrating, but if I think about, like, when I first arrived here and how little I knew, and now I'm like, I can talk to my teacher, right? It's really satisfying. I think the community here is really great. I love that, like, Hannah mentioned this before, but there are people from all over the world here, so I'm getting to know people from Germany, from Switzerland, from Spain, everywhere. It's awesome. Like, I love getting to know all these people from different cultures and backgrounds, and also, like, we've become really good friends, especially like the people who came with us the week that we arrived. We've all kind of, like, stayed up until this moment, like a squad, for lack of a better word. But, like, I really appreciate them, and I really hope that these friendships will last past our time here. And I also feel like I'm good friends with, like, Jason and Fiona, my teachers, as well. Like, sometimes they'll come out with us and, like, hang out, and that's really great. Like, I really enjoy that.
Yeah, definitely think community here is really great, like, within the school. And we're very welcoming to new students, and, like, we hang out, like, there's school social events, but then also, like, even outside of school events, like, for example, on Friday we all went out together, and, like, that's something we do pretty regularly, is just hang out even outside of school events. And then even outside of school, like, being in Shanghai, I think it's also easy to find people to talk to or make friends with. Like, the language mix is a really great way to, like, meet new people, make new friends. And like Evelyn said, it's so cool to, like, be able to speak with people from all over the world. Like, now I know how to say lint roller in German. So,
I will say it is really hard. Well, it is pretty easy to stay within, like, the foreigner bubble, but if you, like, make an effort to go meet locals, that's also really possible, especially, like, the school. The language mix, as Hannah mentioned, has, like, a bunch of native Shanghai Shanghainese, and like you can go meet someone, make a connection, and like have like someone to practice your Chinese with who's like a normal person, not like your teacher. I think my goal was just to be able to have a regular basic conversation with someone, like not my teacher, because my teacher like knows what all the words that I have learned and so forth, and like makes things easy. But like just like a normal human, I just want to be able to have a conversation with them and like not struggle to understand them. It would be really ideal if I got up to like HSK 5 by the time I left, but I'm not sure if I will take the test. It kind of just depends on like how I feel near the end and if I feel like studying that much.
I think I would just told myself, oh, I would love to be conversationally fluent, which I feel like I totally am already after being here for 4 months. And so I think now I think the most difficult thing for me now is when people just like come up and say things to me out of context. Like this happened very recently. A girl just like walked up to me and said something, and I was like, I don't understand, because it was just totally out of nowhere. So I think that's something that I'm working on. Also understanding people who like have a different accent than what I'm used to hearing, or like maybe their voice is kind of rough, or they have a hoarse throat or whatever. But I would love if I can to like get to HSK 6, but we'll see. That's kind of that's kind of an ambitious goal. I think Shanghai is a really cool place. Well, I come from like small town in the Midwest, so a lot of places are cooler than that. But no, it really is. Like I feel like I've been here for 4 months, and I still feel like there's more for me to explore, more places for me to go, and there's just so much to do. Like I mean, if you're like into the nightlife, there's bars and clubs, or like there's also like zoos, and then like the Bund is like really beautiful at night, and there's shopping, and also like there's just a really cool mix of like ancient things and modern things, and I think that's true like just in China in general, but like coming from America, there's not so much like ancient, really ancient things. So I think that's a really cool thing about Shanghai, is that you get to experience like some of the like really modern aspects of China, and also like the really ancient parts, and like seeing old architecture and going to parks and things are like some things that I really enjoy doing.
Shanghai is a really, really awesome city. I was living in Chicago before this, which is another big city, and Chicago was just like fine. Like it was good, but I would say I like Shanghai more. There's like if you want to do something, Shanghai has it. Like you just have to find it. It's a big city, right? Like there's tons and tons and tons. Like we've been here a long time and we haven't done many things. And like the Bund is awesome. I'm like, you should just go see it. Yeah, and I think that like I just always hear that Shanghai is better than Beijing, so I don't know what that means, but like it's a great city, and I sometimes think like, oh, maybe I could like stay here longer than, you know, there are 6 months. Yeah.
Because of our visas, actually, we have tourist visas, so we actually have to leave the country every 2 months. We have to leave. So we've been to Seoul, and we also recently went to Taipei with our family, and Taipei was a really cool place. As for like within China, we've been to Hangzhou, which is nearby. We haven't really done a lot of traveling inside China, but I would love to go to Suzhou or Nanjing. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that covered all of the trips that we took. I will say we have not traveled much around China, and China is huge. But I'd like to eventually. The program with LTL ends in like May, and I'm like considering staying and like traveling around China for maybe a few weeks after that. I haven't fully decided, but there's so many things here to see. Yeah.
Yeah, I keep hearing people say like, oh, you should go here and here and here. It's like overwhelming. Like China is so big, and you know, I just have the weekends.
So we're gonna be famous.
You will, baby. We could do like a follow-up video.
Oh, okay.
We didn't used to have a bell.
No.
Yeah. It's really loud.